What's truly striking here, I think, is the sharp contrast. You've got the initial promise of a platform like BookBub, and then the lived on-the-ground experience of so many authors. It's often quite different.
So we'll be navigating the nuances, like the different promotional offerings.
Exactly. And crucially, the broader implications for authors who are just trying to reach readers in what is, let's be honest, an incredibly crowded market now.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our journey starts with this feeling bubbling up from the self-publishing community. It's captured really vividly in a Reddit thread titled, "Guys tell me I'm not crazy that BookBub has become garbage."
Wow, straight to the point.
Right. And many authors are sharing experiences that are frankly pretty disheartening. One user talked about spending $99 on BookBub ads, only to get a dismal 13 clicks.
Ouch, 13. For 99 bucks.
Yeah, it led them to label the lists as total garbage.
Well, that immediately raises a critical question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About the current effectiveness of certain ad types, anyway.
And it doesn't seem like a one-off.
No, this isn't an isolated incident. It's a sentiment echoed by, numerous voices across the community online. We're seeing reports that industry experts, people like David Garan, are even downgrading their view on BookBub ads. Suggests a real shift.
And it seems there's a reason why. A top commenter in that thread pointed out that BookBub ads have gotten progressively difficult since they first launched strong.
Okay, why?
The reason? Folks have come in and thrown stupid money at it, overbidding and driving costs up to ridiculous levels.
The saturation effect. Classic advertising cycle.
Pretty much. And there's even feedback that the ads themselves are looking, well, terrible. Like grainy and out of focus, often featuring books with bad covers and no reviews.
That doesn't help. If we connect this to the bigger picture, yeah, we're seeing that common cycle play out. Early adopters find great success.
Right, they get in early.
But then more people flood the space, competition increases, saturation happens, and inevitably costs go up and returns diminish for almost everyone.
Makes sense.
One user even recalled a time, maybe 3 years ago, when BookBub ads were actually more effective than Google ads and kind of comparable to Amazon ads.
Wow, so that really highlights the decline for them.
It really does. However, it's also important to note it's not universal negativity. Another author reported success with her launch just last month.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but they emphasize the need for, meticulous testing of ads and audience targeting. So, results can vary, it seems. It's not all bad news for everyone.
Okay, so this discussion, it leads us to a really crucial distinction within the whole BookBub ecosystem. It's one that experienced authors consistently highlight.
What's that?
While the general BookBub ads, the ones people can just buy into, are causing a lot of this frustration. There's a collective agreement, it seems, that the BBFD, the BookBub feature deal, is still worth it, though.
Ah, yes, the feature deals. That is a critical point, and our Tech Dispatch source elaborates on this.
Okay.
It actually calls it the BookBub illusion.
The illusion, okay.
Yeah, because it's essential to differentiate between those widely available BookBub ads, the ones causing the frustration,
Right.
and these highly coveted, much harder to get, featured deals. The dispatch states that featured deals can reportedly result in thousands of downloads in a single day.
Thousands. Okay, that sounds more like it.
Which earns them that reputation as the, gold standard of BookBub promotion.
But there's a big catch, right? It's not easy to get one.
Not at all. The Tech Dispatch highlights that even getting a featured deal is basically a lottery system.
A lottery.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
BookBub itself claims to reject a staggering 80–85% of submissions for these deals.
80 to 85%. Wow.
Yeah. And if you are among the lucky, 15–20% who get accepted,
You gotta pay up.
you need to be ready to shell out $400 to $1,000 plus. Depending on your book's price, its category,
Yeah.
it's a significant chunk of change.
Okay, so you pay a lot, you get a lot of downloads, hopefully.
Yeah.
But what's the actual return? That's the key question.
That is the key question. And the Tech Dispatch provocatively suggests that while you will get downloads, potentially thousands,
Yeah.
BookBub's audience, or at least a large part of it, has been trained to expect free or deeply discounted books.
Ah, so they're bargain hunters.
Essentially, it asks, quite bluntly, if authors are just feeding the Kindle hoarders who collect freebies like digital hoarders with no intention of reading your work.
Oof, that's harsh, but maybe fair. Are you just filling digital bookshelves that never get opened?
It's a valid concern authors need to weigh. Is it visibility, or is it actual readers engaging with the story?
Looking back at the Reddit thread, though, many authors do support the effectiveness of the featured deals, at least financially. They note that for them, achieving ROI plus a positive return on investment often comes from these BookBub feature deals.
Okay, so they do make their money back and then some.
Often, yeah. For both free and 99.9 US books. Though, it's worth noting they say international deals typically yield less of a bump.
Right, US market focus.
And one author gave a specific example. Their latest free deal took 5 days to earn out and turn a profit based on sales of the other 3 paid books in their series.
5 days, okay.
But they added, that used to be same day.
Ah, so even the golden goose isn't laying quite as fast as it used to.
Exactly. But they still say, as long as I'm making a profit, and they keep accepting my books, I'll keep doing them. So, still profitable, but maybe diminishing returns even for the featured deals.
Interesting nuance. And the community discussion also sheds light on the specific criteria for getting these deals in the first place.
Like what?
Well, authors frequently talk about the requirement of a print page count. It needs to be at least 150 pages, which is roughly, say, 40,000 words, just to be eligible to apply.
Okay, so no short stories or novellas, usually.
Generally not, it seems. And your genre matters, the depth of the discount you offer. That all plays a big role in whether you get accepted into that tiny percentage.
Right. So, okay, we've dug into BookBub, the ads, the deals. What does this all mean for authors who are just trying to, sell their books?
Well, this is where our tech dispatch source, the one titled The BookBub Mirage and the Great Marketing Scam, really broadens the scope.
The Great Marketing Scam. That sounds serious.
It is. It argues that for authors, the hardest damn part of publishing a book isn't writing it, it's selling the damn thing.
I think a lot of authors would agree with that.
Absolutely. And this piece connects the BookBub experience, both the good and the bad, to a much larger and frankly, pretty disheartening pattern.
Which is?
It argues that many platforms, not just BookBub necessarily, were fundamentally built to profit off your desperation.
Ooh, that's cynical.
It is. But listen to these stats they cite. Over 4 million books were self-published in 2023.
4 million, wow.
Yeah. Amazon KDP controls over 80% of that market. Yet, despite this huge output,
Yeah.
only about 5% of self-published authors earn over $1,000 a year from their books. 5%.
Only 5% make over $1,000 a year.
And the overwhelming majority, it says, make less than $500 annually.
That is incredibly sobering. Just a huge disparity. Why then, with odds like that, do authors keep trying? It seems almost irrational.
It's a powerful question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the dispatch doesn't just give the what, it dives into the why.
Okay.
It argues authors are driven by hope, an innate hope, really. The belief that they will be the exception.
The breakout success story.
Exactly. The next Mark Dawson or Colleen Hoover, It speaks to that deep human desire to succeed against the odds, even when, as the dispatch provocatively suggests, the game is rigged.
Rigged. Strong words.
Very. It goes on to claim that these platforms ultimately don't give a damn if your book sells or not. Their profit comes from the services, the ads, the systems built around the author's hope.
So if the game is rigged, or at least incredibly difficult, then marketing becomes this just inescapable, almost like Sisyphean task, rolling the boulder up the hill.
Precisely. Marketing is presented as the single biggest hurdle for authors. Without it, even brilliant books are just invisible, dead on arrival.
Yeah, you can write the best book in the world, but if no one sees it?
It doesn't matter. And the dispatch vividly outlines the relentless, often unrewarding tasks authors face. Tirelessly building newsletters, running ads with maybe limited guidance, endlessly posting on social media, joining promo swaps.
All that stuff.
Yeah. It transforms authors, in its view, into digital door-to-door salesmen, constantly hustling.
That paints a pretty bleak picture, honestly. Is there any alternative offered?
Well, yes. What if there was another way? The Tech Dispatch does offer a contrasting model. It points to a platform called Strut.
Strut. Okay, I haven't heard much about that one.
It positions itself as a discovery platform, specifically where the right readers find your book without all that marketing bullshit.
Okay, bold claim. How does it supposedly work differently?
This brings us to a potentially compelling alternative. How does Strut claim to be different? Well, the source explains that it works on the premise that readers search with specific ranked ideas.
Okay, ideas, not just keywords.
Seems like it. So instead of authors bidding for ad space, Strut has this street algorithm that matches a reader's query, their specific search, to the core ideas that are sort of baked into your book.
Interesting. So it's about the content itself.
That's the claim. It says no gimmicks, no gatekeepers, no gaming the system. The implication is that quality ideas rise to the top, not just the authors with the biggest ad budget.
So merit-based discovery, theoretically.
Theoretically. The underlying promise is that if your book resonates, it gets seen. It shifts the focus from, outbound promotion and ad spend to more authentic, intrinsic discoverability.
That's a really significant conceptual departure from the ad-driven model we've been discussing with BookBub.
It really is.
Wow. Okay, so we've definitely navigated the complex and, often frustrating world of book promotion today, from those diminishing returns of BookBub ads to the critical, albeit costly and lottery-like distinction of the featured deals, and finally landing on these larger systemic issues that so many authors face just trying to sell their work.
Yeah, the core conflict really does seem to be the author's hope, their passion, their creativity, meeting the cold, hard realities of a very competitive, often profit-driven marketing landscape.
One thing that truly stands out is that tension, isn't it? Between the individual author's, tireless effort,
pouring everything in,
and the market's just unforgiving dynamics. The Tech Dispatch concludes, pretty bluntly, that authors are not the problem, but rather that the system is the problem. And it urges authors to, quote, burn the damn playbook and try something different.
Burn the playbook. That's a call to action.
It certainly leaves you with a lot to consider, doesn't it? Whether you're an author trying to navigate these waters or maybe just a reader observing the whole publishing world from the outside.
Absolutely. Which leads to, I guess, a final thought to chew on.
Right.
If that traditional marketing system truly is rigged, or at least fundamentally flawed, as one source claims, what new, perhaps radical approaches might emerge in the future? What could genuinely connect readers with books based purely on the strength of their ideas, their story, rather than just the size of an author's ad budget?